Yay! Here you are in section 4, the last and final section of our program assessment report. In this section, you are closing the loop. These are your final reflections. You're going to look at this data, reflect on that, and really decide how you want to move forward. As always, at the top, you'll see a link for written instructions and this video tutorial, so use those as you need them. We really have two sections or two parts, I guess, of this section. Our first one is comparing results, and then our second one is down here, general program information. So comparing results is where we will look at the results from your assessment 1 and your assessment 2 and see what happened. So this table is here to help you compare those, right, in an organized fashion. So you're going to put your course information here, and then you're going to put your the percent of students that met benchmark for assessment 1, and then the percent of students that met benchmark for assessment 2 for that specific course. And then here you're going to put the change. Did they grow 10%, 10% more, meet benchmark, 10% less, meet benchmark? So you can kind of see those pieces there. What stands out in your results? Or actually, let me go back up to the table. I'm sorry. So you're going to go through this entire table for all of your courses, right, that you did. Remember, as you're going through the table, if you need more rows, once you are at the very last cell, the section there, then you can hit this plus sign to the right and add another row with all of those text boxes. Okay. After that, then you're going to come down to these general reflection questions. So this first one is, what stands out in your results from assessment 1 to assessment 2? So you're looking at the numerical data, and what stands out to you? What is the difference in those two assessments? What changes occurred, and what did you see? Remember, this information should be mostly numerical in nature, where you're really kind of explaining what that data showed. Then the next section says, what are possible explanations for what you observed? So please do not think that this is justification. You don't need to justify why they grew, why they didn't grow. You don't need to justify that the changes you made worked, or explain yourself when they didn't. This is really just for you to dive in and say, okay, what was I wanting to investigate, and what does this show me, and why do I think that is? So consider the changes that you made from your first assessment to your second assessment. Are there additional program changes that have occurred? Are there other college factors that have kind of come into play? So you just kind of think of these things, but keep an open mind and really just try to dive in and make this a meaningful response and not a justification. Okay, don't look at it like that. Think through that. Once you've done that, your next question, as a result of your assessment, what are your next steps for your courses and or program? So you have what the data says, you have why you think it's saying this, your best explanation, right? So then what are you going to do? What are those next steps? You might want to consider the need for continued assessments, repeating what you just did, and continuing. If your students aren't where they need to be, even at the end of assessment 2, then do we need to continue assessments for this outcome? For either the general education outcome, maybe we want to look at a different program outcome, but we still want to look at the same gen ed. Maybe we want to focus a little differently on our courses. Maybe we have some changes we need to be making. So think about all of those things. Are there areas of concern, right, that needs attention? And do you have future ideas? So are there ideas that you're thinking, could help promote student learning and growth in your program? So kind of think through all of that, and what do you think the next steps are? Once you've gone through that area, you're pretty much kind of done with comparing your results, and we're moving more towards just a quick overview of your program for the past year. So during this assessment cycle, what other program changes and improvements have occurred? Okay, so did you change some course sequencing? Did you drop or add classes? Your curriculum, has anything changed? If changes occurred, why were those made? Was it because of your student assessment or a prior student assessment? Retention, enrollment concerns, your advisory board, the job market, kind of what prompted those changes? And then, do you foresee any program changes occurring in the next 3 years? Right? You know your programs well, and you're not fortune tellers, but what do you think in the next 3 years? Do you foresee anything that we should just kind of keep in the back of our minds? Then, last but not least, if you just have notes for yourself, put those there. Anything that you want that didn't fit in above, go ahead, and then you'll see our follow-up notes from the champions and the deans. So that is it for the closing the loop. If you have any questions, please reach out to your assessment champions. We are always there for you and enjoy helping you. So thanks so much.